Take a look around you. The people you love, the memories you've made. We live our lives pretending this will all last forever. But it won't. Everything you have ever known, every star you see, and eventually, even time itself, will die. If human history was 1 second, the universe still has trillions of years to slowly burn out into a freezing graveyard. The only things left are black holes, but nature is merciless. Over an unimaginable amount of time, even they evaporate, and then nothing. Just a freezing void. But what scientists discovered about empty space changes everything. If you have infinite time, probability dictates that these random particles will eventually collide to form a conscious mind. Right now, we are in the stelliferous era, the age of starlight, but this is just a brief spark. Eventually, the universe will run out of gas. Trillions of years from now, the sky will be completely pitch black. The only things left will be black dwarf, but even they won't last. This brings us to the black hole era. With no stars left to swallow, these gravitational monsters will wander an empty universe. But remember, nature is merciless. Stephen Hawking proved that even black holes are not immortal. They slowly leak energy. It will take a 1 followed by 100 zeros. But eventually, they will evaporate. And then, nothing. No stars, no planets, no atoms, just a freezing void expanding into infinity. Or so we thought, because what scientists discovered about empty space changes everything. At a microscopic level, space is a boiling soup of quantum fluctuations. In a dead universe, where time stretches into infinity, the laws of probability become terrifying. Random particles will collide to form a fully conscious mind. Some physicists propose the Boltzmann brain. An entity that lives for a fraction of a second thinks it is you, and then vanishes back into the void. But let's assume you are real, and the universe is just empty. Does it just sit there in the dark forever? Not necessarily, because the universe has a self-destruct button. Right now, the very fabric of reality might be balancing on a cliff. If a single, random quantum spark pushes it off that cliff, a bubble of true vacuum would form. This bubble would expand outward at the exact speed of light. You wouldn't see it coming. It would instantly erase everything. The dead universe wouldn't just be empty. The very laws of physics would be completely deleted. But whether the universe fades into heat death or is erased by a vacuum bubble, we keep running into the same massive illusion: time. We think of time as a straight line with a beginning, a middle, and an end. But modern physics suggests time isn't fundamental. It's an emergent property. Time only exists when things interact. If the universe is completely dead, and nothing is moving, and nothing is interacting, then time itself stops existing. But let's step back for a moment. What if the universe isn't erased by a vacuum bubble? What if it just waits in this eternal darkness? Ordinary physics dies, and quantum physics takes over. Through a bizarre process called quantum tunneling, every piece of matter left in the universe slowly turns into iron, the most stable element, creating iron stars. This will take 10 to the power of 1500 years, a number so large human brains literally cannot comprehend it. But even iron is not forever. Eventually, these remnants collapse into black holes, which evaporate. leading us back to absolute zero, back to the freezing, infinite void. But here is a mathematical truth that will break your brain. It's called the Poincare recurrence theorem. If you shuffle a deck of cards infinitely, eventually, by pure chance, they will return to their exact original perfect order. The universe is just a giant box of particles, which means in a dead universe with infinite time, eventually every single particle will accidentally arrange itself exactly as it is right now, creating another you watching this exact same video. But what if our universe is just one tiny room in an infinite cosmic mansion? Welcome to the multiverse. According to the theory of eternal inflation, the Big Bang wasn't a one-time event. It is happening constantly, everywhere. Some live for trillions of years, others die instantly. But what happens when two of these massive universes get too close to each other? Astronomers might have already found the scar. There is a massive anomaly in our universe called the cold spot. Some physicists believe it is a bruise from another universe bumping into ours. If we zoom out even further, past the bubbles, we leave 3D space entirely. Welcome to the 11th dimension, the realm of string theory membranes. Imagine our entire universe is just one of these flat sheets, drifting silently, but occasionally, two membranes drift too close. This is the ekpyrotic model. The moment they touch, the kinetic energy wipes the old universe clean and instantly creates a brand new Big Bang. A brand new universe is born. But here is the most haunting question in all of physics. Did the old universe completely disappear? According to quantum mechanics, information can never be truly destroyed, not even by the death of the universe. When those massive black holes evaporated trillions of years ago, they didn't just delete what they ate, they released it back into the void. This leads us to the most beautiful theory in all of physics, conformal cyclic cosmology, championed by Sir Roger Penrose. Penrose realized something mind-bending. When the universe is completely dead, with only stray photons of light remaining, the universe literally forgets how big it is. Without matter, the concepts of size and distance completely cease to exist. So, if our Big Bang was just the end of a previous universe, are there any scars left behind from the universe before ours? Penrose believes there are. He points to concentric rings in the cosmic background radiation. He calls them Hawking points. These rings are the massive shock waves of evaporating black holes from the universe that existed before ours. We are not the first, and we won't be the last. The universe doesn't have an end. It is an infinite breathing machine, dying and being reborn forever. For the next trillion years, the universe enters a state of maximum entropy, the ultimate equilibrium where absolutely nothing happens. To understand how terrifying this is, we have to look at the arrow of time. Why does time only seem to move forward? If you drop a glass, it shatters. It never randomly reassembles itself. This is entropy. Things always move from order to chaos. But what happens when everything is already broken? When the universe is a uniform soup of nothingness, the arrow of time completely disappears. Without entropy increasing, the past and the future become identical. If you played a video of the universe backwards, it would look exactly the same. This brings us to a haunting philosophical question. Quantum mechanics suggests that reality needs an observer to lock it into place. Without a single conscious mind left to look at the stars, does the universe even exist? It might revert into a wave of pure probability, the entire cosmos blurring into a ghostly, undefined state. And then the final physical event in the history of everything occurs. Even light itself has a lifespan. That final photon loses its last drop of energy, and the universe goes completely dark. The temperature hits absolute zero, with no mass and no energy. The fundamental forces of nature begin to untie themselves. Gravity is the first to die. The invisible fabric of space-time, which once held galaxies together, becomes perfectly flat and meaningless. Up and down, left and right, they all lose their physical meaning. The architecture of the cosmos collapses into itself. All that remains is the base code of reality, a barren wasteland of mathematics, waiting in the absolute silence for a reason to exist again. How long does this wait last? Trillions of years. Quadrillions. Without matter interacting, there is no clock to measure it. In a completely empty universe, eternity and a single millisecond are the exact same thing. And this is the secret of conformal cyclic cosmology. The universe essentially forgets how massive it is. Without atoms or photons to act as a ruler, an unimaginably vast, dead universe looks mathematically identical to the infinitely small, unimaginably hot, dense point of a singularity. The end becomes completely indistinguishable from the beginning, and all it takes to shift that lens is a single quantum fluctuation. Deep within the void, the fundamental fields of reality, like the Higgs field, begin to stir from their infinite slumber. The silent, empty space begins to charge up with an incomprehensible amount of dormant power. Gravity is born again. The entire infinite void is dragged inward by this terrifying new force, and as matter is forced back into existence, time prepares to tick once more. All the ghosts of the past universe, all the evaporated black holes, all the quantum data is compressed together, squeezed into a speck, billions of times smaller than a single atom, a seed containing the exact blueprint for a brand new reality. The pressure builds to infinity. The temperature reaches trillions of degrees. The fabric of reality screams. And then, for one agonizing, impossible fraction of a second, everything stops. Perfect, absolute silence. And then, the bounce, a brand new Big Bang, the greatest explosion in the history of existence, wiping the slate completely clean in a fraction of a millisecond. The infinite compression rebounds. The blinding, unimaginable heat begins to cool. Raw energy weaves itself into brand new matter. And for the first time in trillions of years, the universe is flooded with light. The end of the old universe wasn't a tragedy, it was a necessity. It was the cosmos hitting reset so that life could have a stage to play on once again, so that billions of years later, a brand new conscious mind could evolve. Someone who could look up at the dark sky and ask the exact same questions. Tonight, when you look out your window at the stars, don't feel a sense of dread. Don't be afraid of the dark that lies at the end of time. That darkness isn't an empty graveyard. It's a waiting room. Because in a cosmos ruled by infinite time, nothing is ever truly gone. Everything you love, every moment you cherish, is part of a grand, eternal loop. The end is just the beginning in disguise. You are the universe experiencing itself, and that experience will never, ever end. If this journey shifted your reality, subscribe. The universe has so much more to show you. I'll see you in the next one.